Hello and welcome to another edition of Defending the Den. I'm your host, Scotty Wazz. How are you guys doing this week? Don't know what the weather's doing. Screwing up my sinuses, that much I know. But overall, it's not too much to be complaining about, that's for sure. As the Maryland Black Bears had their last home-and-home meeting, also finishing up a 5-game in 8-day situation as they took on the Philadelphia Rebels for the final time in the regular season. And probably for the rest of the season. They were up in Philly on Friday night, and it didn't get off to the best of starts for the Black Bears, so let's take a look back at that. It only took a couple minutes into the frame, and Jordan Brothers would get on the board first for Philadelphia. Just a transition out of the zone, picks it up in the neutral zone, and just rips it home on a 2-on-1, takes the shot for his 17th of the year, and then Philly is up 1-0. Philly would then go on the power play in the middle of the frame as the Black Bears just try and press it if they could. It's not like they didn't have the opportunities in the early going, but they get a penalty in the middle of the frame, and it only took a few seconds, 9 to be exact, before Abzul Alabek puts a shot on, and it just goes ahead and kind of bounces around, and Ryan Deans gets handcuffed on it, and it goes in the back of the net. It is 2-0 Philly adjacent. The Black Bears were quick to respond, and by quick to respond, I mean about 14 seconds to respond, as Will Esterbrooks was able to keep it in the zone. And initially, a shot off by Ryan Franks gets denied, but Harrison Smith right there, wide open. Why wouldn't you leave the top scorer in the league wide open? He bats home the rebound for his 24th of the year. Franks' 28th assist, Esterbrooks' 33rd assist. Black Bears cut that lead in half, and again, continue to press, making sure that they, just try to get something going, try to build off that goal. But unfortunately, late in the frame, Philadelphia would get their 2-goal lead back. As the Black Bears really couldn't clear it far enough out of the zone, it gets kept in, and Jake Schultz finds Broxton Engel, and Engel puts it home right on the right side of the slot to make it a 3-1 game. Then there was a little bit of rough stuff between Gavin Callahan. It was a bit of a wrecking ball out there. And Sam Osei and Robbie Glentz getting into it with Callahan as well. Back and forth, side to side. Next thing you know, Black Bears on the PK. And to end the period, not the best to do it. And again, kind of quick work on this, 14 seconds on this one. Joe Stauber, who had that hat trick night the last time the Black Bears were in Philadelphia, find the wide open area. Nice pass across. Credit where credit is due by Billy Sheridan. Stauber's 9th of the year. Black Bears down 4-1 after the first period. 16 shots to 8. Maryland was up, though. So, again, getting their shots on goal. You got to figure a lot of stuff was probably said in the locker room. A lot of stuff that probably can't be really aired out in the public space, and nor should it. So the Black Bears trying to get back into it, and they get a boost less than 5 minutes in to the second period as a good keep at the line by Vincent Glos, and Tanner Duncan comes up to help him with assist. He digs it out. Harrison Smith right there. He cuts to the slot, whiffs on his initial shot, but gets enough of a pass on it to Ryan Franks, who hammers it home for his 28th of the year. Harrison Smith's 69th assist. Tanner Duncan's 45th assist, extending his point streak to 30 games. And the Black Bears cut the lead in half, 4-2. Again, they would keep on digging. They would have a power play in the middle of the frame, could not convert on that, but it was with 3 minutes and 1 second left is when they started to really come back. Braden Wade is the catalyst for this one. Has a great face-off win back, gets to Cole Peters. Peters gets it to Will Esterbrooks. Esterbrooks gets it to Wade, who's in the wide-open area, rips it home for his 11th of the year. Black Bears are within 1 goal. Then, coming down to it with a minute and 40 seconds later, Braden Wade again getting it on the scoreboard. A good, attack at the line by Chris Crummins. He's able to kind of knock the puck loose. Wade comes out on a 2-on-1 with Drury. He keeps it, puts it home. We have a tie game, 4-4. Less than a minute later, the Black Bears were on a penalty kill, but that means nothing to them at all. They are solid on the PK. Well, a little bit. At least offensive, attacking-wise. Will Esterbrooks gets it up off the glass. Philadelphia defenseman had trouble handling it, much like I'm having trouble with words. Josh Fournette barrels through him, takes the puck down the left side, finds Owen Drury, passes it across to the captain. Captain connects for his 17th of the year. Black Bears up 5-4 on Drury's 17th. Fournette's 33rd assist. Esterbrooks' 35th assist. And boy, howdy, a 4-goal second period. 4 goals, completely unanswered to that point. 16 seconds later is when the Philadelphia Rebels would strike once again on that same power play that Maryland was killing. They move up the ice pretty quickly after that and was able to find the open area where Ryan Bunting would be streaking down the side. He gets a pass over and knocks it in. It is 5-5 in a frantic game going in to the last 20 minutes. Maryland kept that pressure up into the third period. 21 shots on goal in the third period. Just an onslaught, including 2 power plays. And it wasn't until the last power play where they connected. Cole Peters, with only 1 second left on the power play, rips it home through traffic. A great screen in front by Josh Fournette. And Cole Peters gets his 6th of the year. Drury gets his 29th assist. Trey Hinton gets his 30th assist. Black Bears up 6-5. The defense would take it from there, shut things down, and the Black Bears would take this one in a frantic one, 6-5. Ryan Deans making 20 saves in the victory, and in that victory, he gets his 26th win of the season, setting a single-season regular season mark for the Maryland Black Bears, passing William Hackinson from 2022-23 for that distinction. So a wild ride on Friday night, and you got to figure some kind of bus trip down would get a little bit wonky, maybe the guys are tired out from scoring all the time. But hey, who's to say? And it was an earlier start time too than usual. A good old 6:30 game for the Maryland Black Bears. And the Black Bears get one in the first period. And, they had to wait a little bit. I mean, both sides trying to get their legs about them after the long bus ride back. But the Black Bears get a power play. And in that power play, Will Esterbrooks rips one home. Just a good, patient play between him, Harrison Smith, and Tanner Duncan. As Esterbrooks gets it, has a lot of room, creeps in a bit, rips one from the top of the right circle. That goes in the back of the net for Esterbrooks' 14th of the year. Tanner Duncan gets his 46th assist. That extends his point streak to 31 games. And Harrison Smith gets his 70th assist of the year. And the Black Bears are up 1-0 in the early going. That's where they would go after one period of play. And in the second period of play, things got started early. Less than 3 minutes into the frame, Vincent Glos with a great headman pass up to Owen Drury. Drury at the other blue line bumps it to Josh Fournette. Fournette makes a nice power move down the right side, puts it between his legs, picks it up on his backhand, goes forehand, puts it home for his 15th of the year, and a highlight reel goal. Owen Drury gets his 30th assist. Vinny Glos gets his 5th assist. Black Bears are up 2-0. However, minutes later, Braden Frick would cut the lead to 1 for the Black Bears as he gets a loose puck after a shot on net. Dom Gatto lets up a rebound. Frick was there with a wide open net. He puts it home for his 12th of the year. Black Bears up 2-1. And then in the middle of the frame, a little bit of a controversy, as the Brits like to call it. As on a 4-on-4, the Black Bears, have their speed guys on the rush. Harrison Smith gets it over. Give a little give and go with him and Trey Hinton. Hinton throws it on net. Smith and Hinton celebrate. The goal light does not go on. The referee is at the far corner half wall pointing at the goal. It was lunacy. Standing behind the goal net, I did not get a good vision of it because the Rebels goaltender, their inside pad is navy blue. So because of that navy blue, it kind of obscures where the puck is at when they pin it up against the post. When he spun out, the puck was about a good, almost a half a foot from the post. So I'm thinking maybe not. Maybe it didn't go in, but the referee pointed at the goal. They went to a video review, and they decided it was a goal. So 3-1. We'll take those. As Trey Hinton gets his 15th, Harrison Smith's 71st assist, Will Esterbrooks' 36th assist, and the Black Bears are up by a count of 3-1. Yeah, that's how it goes. And then late in the frame, Ryan Franks would get another one. He has been on a little bit of a heater, had a little bit of a goal drought there, but he is getting that momentum back just in time for the playoffs as he pulls the puck out of a scrum on the half wall, gets it to the middle of the net right before the slot area, rips one home. It's a no-doubter. His 29th of the year. Harrison Smith's 72nd assist. Tanner Duncan's 47th assist. Black Bears up 4-1 after 2 periods of play. Philly would get one back and have that lead 4-2 when Mikey Conlon gets his third of the year. Just a cycle up high, and he comes down low, untouched, puts it home thanks to a screen in front for his third, and it's 4-2. Middle of the a little bit of well, no, we'll get to that in a second. Middle of the third period, though, that's when the Black Bears get their 3-goal lead back, and it's Liam Doherty getting the goal on the power play, or just as the power play expired. Black Bears still maintaining possession in the zone. Puck worked out to Doherty. He had all the time in the world. He lets one rip from the top of the circle, and he puts it home for his 6th of the year. Owen Drury's 31st. Trey Hinton's 31st assist. Black Bears up 5-3, but a little bit of a fracas happened shortly after that between Broxton Ingles and Will Esterbrooks. Esterbrooks initially getting an interference call. Then next thing you know, him and Ingles get into it. They get into a little spirited scrap. Ingles gets another 10-minute misconduct as well as a 2-minute misconduct on top of a fighting major. So all kinds of crazy stuff that was going on there. Esterbrooks gets a Gordie Howe hat trick with that fight, so a heck of a game for him. But unfortunately, not too long after that is when the Rebels would strike with to get within 2 once again, as Abdul Alabek, off the draw after everything kind of figured itself out, gets a rip on the right off the draw, one back, and he puts it to the blocker side of Dom Gatto, making it 5-3. And try as they might, they would not get any closer. And hell, even Gatto even tried for the empty net there at the end and was blocked down at center ice. But man, that would have been a hell of a thing. Though the ice conditions may not have warranted the full coast to coast, but it is what it is. The Black Bears do come away with another weekend sweep, extending their win streak to 14 games, and in that clinching the regular season title in the NAHL, as they just needed a single point on Saturday to do it, and they did that and added one more to that. So they got a nice little Z by their name to rule the land in the regular season. So a great showing from this team right here, continuing to break records on and on and on until the break of dawn. So where does that put us right now? Well, we got 2 weekends left. This weekend, the last home weekend, as the Black Bears and Rochester Americans will face off. Those two teams do have the byes. Obviously, the Black Bears had the bye, clinching the East Division, but Rochester got a bye this weekend as a result of the weekend games that are going in there. So they are going to be solid in second. Then 3rd through 6th, hell, even down to 8th is a bit of conundrum right now, because there is a whole lot of shaking going on there. So as it stands, Maryland up top, 96 points. Rochester, 73. So they're 23 back of the Black Bears. New Jersey, 65. They clinched the playoff spot. 4th is Maine at 64. They've clinched a playoff spot. Northeast in 5th. Danbury in 6th. Johnstown in 7th. New Hampshire in 8th. Theoretically, those teams still have a chance of getting in. So I mean, there is a theoretical. There's theoretically they can still get into the playoffs. New Hampshire's going to need a lot. They've been on a hot streak though, but they're going to need a lot. Johnstown's going to need a lot of help, and Danbury, they faced the Black Bears in the last weekend of the regular season. So we will see what kind of situation they're at in this, and what that weekend could yield from there. But Black Bears Rochester this weekend. It's Billet Appreciation Night on Friday night, Fan Appreciation Night on Saturday night. Tickets.marylandblackbears.com. A lot of festivities going on. There's going to be a full team signing after both games, and a skate with the Black Bears on Saturday night. Should be a good one if you can't get down to the rink. NAHL TV has all the action. Alex Atano will be on Friday. I'll be up there on Saturday, and it'll be a great time for everyone involved. And we'll have a fun time for everybody. So check it all out. Should be a good one. These two teams haven't faced off since the beginning of the new year in 2026. They spread out their meetings really well. So we'll see what each team gets. Obviously, there's not too much for either of these teams to play for, aside from pride and other numbers and things like that. When you look at the broad scope of things, I mean, there's a lot to play for. Obviously, you want to win. You want to put something out there, but at the same time, you also want to rest your guys. You don't want to have get into situations where you guys get hurt, possibly get banged up a little bit. So yeah, Whole lot of things to go in here, a whole lot of chemistry that needs to be put into the lab, and we'll see how it all pans out. But tickets.marylandblackbears.com for all of that. It's some interview time, and we'll start off with head coach Clint Mylymok, who talks a little bit about the streak that's been happening for the Black Bears in the week that was, and how the team persevered over that, as well as looking at the roster ahead for the Black Bears going into the last 2 weeks of the regular season, as well as looking at things that he's, kind of emboldened himself in since moving to Maryland some years ago. Head coach Clint Mylymok joining me right now. And coach, big weekend for you guys. 4 points, keep the winning streak rolling. What did you think of the team's performance this weekend?
I thought it was. I mean, we had the three games that week, and so playing the weekday games. We drive up to New Jersey or Philly are always tough for the guys because you're getting off a bus and you have a team sitting there that slept in their own beds and ready to go. And I thought they handled it well. The weekend games, I thought they were just okay. But I mean, the kids that took care of business. I mean, we knew what was at stake and we didn't hide from it, and they knew what it meant to win and they get those points and what it meant for the program and for themselves. And there have been a group that's been focused all year on giving themselves tasks and saying, here are our goals when we meet with the captains. Here's what we want to accomplish. And then there's a ton of things to look at. And they've set a list and they're incrementally getting through all of it, just step by step, and doing a good job of staying focused. And it wasn't, they weren't perfect, but I mean, Philly's fighting for the playoff lives and they're not going to shut her down. And I thought they did a good job pushing the pace and keeping us on our toes. And as Brendan says, sometimes we do just enough to win, and that's kind of what it was. But I thought top guys were good, and we got some other scoring too from other guys, so it's kind of nice to see.
On that Friday game, was there much that you needed to say, or did the kind of leadership of the team kind of get those guys going for that second period?
Which game?
Friday. For that Friday at Philly, where down 4-1 after one.
Yeah, I mean, can't go in there and yell and scream like what their systems changed. No, we didn't change anything, and we just kind of planted a seed and said like there's 2 periods left to play our style and see what happens. That's all you can do. And they to their credit, they came out and played our style of hockey and the way we're supposed to, structurally and also just detailed. And then lo and behold, you get a couple goals and sneak back into it. So it's just a challenge. Like, this time of year is you want to be able to at some point in a long season look back at some things you did. So when you get in that situation again, which you don't want to be down 4-1, you can at least say we've done this before and this is how we got to do it. And they're pretty good at self-assessing and knowing, like, a lot of times it's not me going in and saying do these things. It's me asking what do we need to do better, and then guys one at a time or 4 guys will pipe up and say these 4 things or whatever it might be. They're pretty good at knowing. It's just a matter of our jobs to keep them focused and not get behind. But I can understand a little bit because of the situation we're in. But I don't know. Like when we play other teams, I think they're surprised how hard we compete still, knowing what we have. And I think we're catching a few teams a bit off guard because they're thinking, Maryland's set. They're going to play a bunch of APs and. I don't know how you do that. I don't know how you just go into the playoffs without trying and set a bad precedent for that first game.
With that conversation in mind about APs and getting ready for the playoffs, has there been any discussion about what's the roster going to look like moving forward? Obviously, home weekend this weekend, you want to play all the guys that are going to be at home, but is there any kind of idea of maybe resting some guys here and there for the last 4 games?
Yeah, I think you always do, but they're competitive too. There's some goals individuals still want to accomplish for themselves through the team, and our team's aware of it as well. But we have affiliate players here right now practicing and learning what it's like to be here full time, and they'll be in the lineup at some point. But the it's not just on the bench smiling, laughing, and like if they're here, like there's expectations on how to perform, how to practice, and earn the right to wear that jersey. And once you put it on, like we have to play a certain way. And I think the guys that we have affiliated will do that. And there might be a few on Friday or none. And there might be a bunch. I don't know. I really don't know. We've talked about it. We're trying to piece it together. And We've gone through this in the years past when we had a chance to maybe play a few extra guys, but you still want your leadership and core guys in, and we have fans that are here watching and paying money, and we owe them a real competitive weekend.
The team, like we mentioned, won the league title. When you look at over the past 8 years that you've been here, how does this team rank up, or what is the similarities you've seen from other teams, or is this a whole unique system for these 24 guys?
Well, funny you should mention that, because Dimitri Kibru was here about 2 weeks ago, I want to say, and he came in and was giving our guys crap about breaking the records that he helped set when he was a captain and our teams in there. And the one thing he mentioned was he's like, man, you got a bunch of guys who go with the net and stay there. He felt like that's a real difference, not just for us, but in college, like teams that have success, like they just live in front. They just know how to stay there and timing of it too. And so I guess there's one thing you could say is that we've got maybe a bit more size up front, or guys that will have that grit factor, maybe like consistently. And it's not just every other game. It's like every game, certain guys play a certain style. Like our leadership is good. It's hard to compare teams in the past, but I certainly would take this team and play those teams and feel it'd be a really good matchup. And but it's always fun to look back and say, what if? But I just, there's certain things you look for as a coach and that you recall. And having Russ here as well, who's seen those teams and been on the bench with some of those teams and players, like we do comparables once in a while. I just think we're hard to play against, and that's the one thing. I think every night when teams play us, they're like, they just don't give us anything, and I think that's important moving forward for them too. In their college careers and pro careers, they've got those it factors, those intangibles that do separate them from maybe an opponent or another player when there's a battle for a loose puck or important time frame of the game. So I don't know. Like Smitty's a game changer too. Like we all know that. It's pretty simple to point to him, but we got other guys too that are low profile, very, very skilled, but the hard skill. And I think that's something we got a bit more maybe than the other teams in the past.
Speaking of the college game, we have 3 Black Bear alumni in the D1 tournament. We got 5 Black Bear alumni in the D3 Frozen Four. For you as a coach, kind of to see their development, does it kind of make you proud to be like, hey, I had a little part in this?
It's always cool to look at and have your program be recognized and also just happy for the guys that you already know, okay, guys that are playing in that tournament, what they get to go through and the experience of it all. It's such an exciting time for them and a feather in their cap. And like we always like to say, it's kind of cool for us to be a small part of their pathway to where they are today. And we hope some of the things they learned and went through as a player on and off the ice are preparing them for this moment, that they're not going to shy away from it. They're going to be a guy that when you watch, like, yeah, he's a Black Bear, he plays the right way, and he's a big part of that team.
Billet Appreciation Weekend, fan appreciation this weekend. Can you speak a little bit to the Billet program here? Has been just kind of year after year successful. How does that help in terms of when the guys come to the rink and are refreshed and ready to go?
Holly's, is a game changer for us, to be honest. And the program started by Amanda, and we talked to them. I think every year we bring this up, but without them, this program is not going to be what it is. It just won't. And it's not just we have good billets and we have amazing billets, but the things they do and the things she does for our players, there's a lot of things I won't hear about till like the next year or the year after, or 2 years even. I'm like, I didn't know that. And they go above and beyond, whether it's coming to games, watching them play when they're in college. Like they have that support as well. And also just the ability for the players to be in a house where they're comfortable, are treated very well, and their parents are in a mindset that when I send my kid away from home, are they taken care of, or do you have people that are just like taking money and not really looking after kids? But I mean, our guys, there's a reason, because Holly does a good job in who we select, but we have the right places where the players, you don't want a player come in the rink worried about what he's got with his billets. You want them comfortable, so they just come to the rink. And we're in a good situation where we know if we put our players in a house, they're in a good situation. They're taken care of. She matches up their personalities and what they like with their billets. And there's a lot that goes into it. It's like us with our players. You don't just pick someone because they're talented. Like, she picks the right people for the right player, and the recipe is great, but she puts a lot of time and effort into it, and we can't be more or thankful enough for what she does for our players.
1-2 matchup this weekend against Rochester. Maybe a preview of something down the line, but thinking at this weekend, what's been the message in practice? Make sure you guys can come home with 4 points.
It's the same as every week. Like, it's a big opponent. We don't like losing. No one does, but we've got goals to attain still, and finish the season the right way. And like, there's 2 points on the line. Either we get it or they get it, and we don't want them to have those 2 points. So you can say all you want and try and pre-plan, and then some scouts or people talk, well, okay, you can start doing all these things. I'm like, when we go on the ice, like, I can't hold them back. Like, we're going to compete. I tell Cole Peters not to go out there and try, or just like be simple. Like, he's going to compete, and a lot of guys are like that. So our job is to manage the ice time, and maybe there'll be a little role reversal. But I don't know. I really don't. I think once the puck drops, it's all business, and that's the way we usually play and coach. And they got to be smart and understand the situation we're in going into playoffs, and I think they will be. But like, we're playing for 2 points. We're playing for our fans. Our families will be here. Like, guys want to win.
As we record this day, it's Maryland Day. This day in 1639, settlers first came to Maryland. Don't fact check that. But since you've been in Maryland, what's the biggest Maryland thing that you've immersed yourself with since being here?
It's hard to say. I think with everything it offers. I mean, you got the beaches, the mountains, you got the fishing, you got the stream fishing, the mountain fishing, the ocean fishing. Like, it offers so much, and I think that's the cool part, is that I like the outdoors. I liked, you got the big city of DC if you want some of that. Big league sports. I just think the state's so underrated. I think it offers so many different things. I think it's another reason our players really enjoy being here, because they're away from DC, but they're close enough, and then when families come in, you got Annapolis down the road, Baltimore, obviously DC. You got your major league sports. As far as what I've immersed myself in, I love the seafood for sure. I've always been a seafood guy, though, from the West Coast, and then just being on this side of it, it's kind of nice to have a good choice and good variety of seafood restaurants, and I love that part of it. But I think really just trying to enjoy all that the state has to offer, and it's got a lot. It's very underrated, and I think I've done a pretty good job of getting out to see the state and enjoy the different towns, the history, which is cool. Which I'm kind of a history guy. I like seeing things from the past and reading about it, and then going to see it, and it offers that as well. So it's a pretty cool state.
Head coach Clint Mylymok.
Will Esterbrooks joining me right now. We talk a little bit about his big weekend with 7 points and a Gordie Howe hat trick against Philadelphia, as well as just what was said in between that first and second period on Friday night to spark the team to a victory.
Maryland Black Bears, Will Esterbrooks joining me right now. Will, a big weekend for you guys. You get 4 points. You keep the win streak going. How did you think the performance from your team went?
I thought it was good. It's obviously nice to win the league. We won the division earlier this season, so it feels good.
On that Friday night game, what did you guys say to each other in between that first and second periods to get you guys going?
Just kind of a killer mentality. Just we got to go out there and play our game and run them through the walls and give them no chance to even stay in this game.
A goal and 6 assists for you this weekend, and a fight. So you have a Gordie Howe hat trick on Saturday night. How did you think your performance was this past weekend?
Thought it was good. I thought it played well and did everything I could for the team.
Now, you guys did, like you mentioned, you locked up the entire league. You locked up the division. You still have 2 weeks left in the season. What's kind of the mentality of this team going into these last 4 games to make sure you guys don't miss a beat?
I think it's just the same mentality, not switch things up. I mean, obviously it's working, so just stay level-headed and just keep rolling, keep the train moving.
Now, this weekend's billet appreciation weekend for the team, as well as fan appreciation. You haven't been here that long, but how has your billet situation been for you since coming to Maryland?
It's been awesome. I mean, they've done everything right so far, and I feel like I'm at home, so it's nice.
Well, you get a nice home-cooked meal, courtesy of Raising Cane's, as the player of the week, so you get yourself a box combo. Will Esterbrooks of the Maryland Black Bears.
Vincent Glos joins me now, and we talk a little bit about not only him being back into the lineup, but also his first year in North America playing hockey, as well as since it's Billet Appreciation Weekend, how his billets have been in his transition from European life to North American life.
Vincent Glos of the Maryland Black Bears joining me right now. And Vincent, a big weekend for you guys. 4 points. What did you think about the team performance this weekend?
Yeah, I think we did really good. Especially on Saturday, we were focused on what we need to do, what Clint wants us to do, and we win.
You guys clinched up the regular season title in the NAHL. You clinched up the division a couple weeks before. How do you think the team has been reacting? How do you think the team has been progressing over the season to be able to get those goals?
I think we're, like I said, we focused on our goals, what we need to do, and it's great to get like this to playoffs.
Now, this is your first year in North America after years in Czechia. How has that been for you to convert from like a bigger ice surface to now a smaller ice surface and a different style of game?
Yeah, I like it. It's more physical, and I like it more. The trainers and coaches helped me a lot, and the boys, and it's great. I like it.
This weekend is Billet Appreciation Weekend and Fan Appreciation Weekend. How has coming over and being in Maryland with your billets right now, how has that helped the conversion or transition for you to come to North America?
I need to say my billets are awesome. I wouldn't change them, and it's great to get home to them, and I feel good around them.
This weekend, you guys got Rochester, a battle of the number 1 and number 2 teams in the East Division. What's been the talking points at practice this weekend to make sure you guys can come away with 4 points?
Yeah, we clinched already, but we want to focus on our game and play the same and hopefully win both.
Vincent Glos of the Maryland Black Bears.
And Hayden Klose joining me now. He talks a little bit about his first year in junior hockey, the adventures and things that he has had to work with in terms of getting back into the lineup. And being in and out of lineup in his first year of full juniors, as well as just looking at his first time away from home and how that has been working for him in equating himself to Maryland.
Hayden Klose of the Maryland Black Bears joining right now. And Hayden, a big weekend for you guys. 4 points, keep the win streak going. Your thoughts on the team's performance this weekend?
I thought we played very good this weekend. We started out a little slow Friday in Philly, but we clawed our way back and we got the 2 points, and then we just controlled the game Saturday, so it was a good weekend for us.
What was said in between periods, I guess, what was the mentality between that first and second period to get you guys rolling?
We just all came in. We knew that we didn't have a great period, so we just all kind of rallied together and said, we got to wake up and put some pucks in the back of the net, play our style of game, and then we'll be good, and obviously it worked.
And the season so far been a record-breaking one for the team, not only for wins, but you guys clinched the division and you also clinched the league title. How's it been, I guess, the feeling, to be able to achieve that in such short order?
It feels really good. I haven't been really on playoff teams in a while, so it feels really good just to be part of a brotherhood like we have, and to be in the playoffs and clinch all this stuff with these guys, it's amazing.
And for you, you kind of been getting in the lineup a little bit more now. How has that been, being from, going from practicing into the game time situation? You seem haven't really missed a beat in between there. How's it felt to get in the lineup more regularly?
It feels really good, I'm not going to lie. Just from, grinding in practice and trying to just get my reps in and get better every day. And when you finally get that opportunity, you kind of just got to take it and run with it and just do your best. And that's what I've been trying to do. But yeah, it's amazing to get back in a little bit.
Build appreciation and fan appreciation this weekend at home in your last home series. I guess speak a little bit to your billet situation. How has that been for you? How's the transition been to kind of ease everything into this junior hockey world?
So it was a little difficult in the start because it was my first year away from home. But I have no complaints for my billets. They're amazing people. I love them. Just like Glos said too, I wouldn't change them for anything. And I don't have much to say. They're great. I love them. So
now this weekend, you guys have a little bit of work to do. 1-2 matchup between Rochester this weekend. What's been the talking points this weekend in practice to make sure you guys can come out with 4 more points?
Just play our game, play hard, play strong. Just don't take anything from them. As long as we play our game, we'll be good, and just play hard.
Hayden Klose of the Maryland Black Bears.
Thanks to Clint, Will, Vincent, and of course Hayden for their time, and of course the Maryland Black Bears for the time and space to provide that and then bring that all here to you. Some alumni news, and there are still 3 Black Bears in D1 hockey remaining that are going to be vying for the national championship. One, Garrett Sidlowski in Western Michigan. They start their defense this Thursday, I do believe, and also Tyler Young, who transferred from Merrimack to University of North Dakota. They're the number 2 overall seed is University of North Dakota. Western Michigan's number 4 overall seed. So Tyler Young at North Dakota, they start off against Merrimack, Young's old school. So how about that? And then Trey Scott from UConn, he will be in the tournament as well. So those 3 guys will be circling around, seeing if they can't get some more hardware for themselves, and should be a good one to put on the Black Bears resume to have 3 guys in the NCAA tournament. In the D3 tournament, a little bit more of a Black Bears flavor in that one, as they are down to their Frozen Four situation with 5 alumni overall, as Hobart has Thomas Toth, and then Aurora also playing. They have Peyton Miller, Jacob Brockman, Sebastian Brockman, and Keaton Lipsit still around for that. So that's pretty cool to have overall there. So should be a good one for that. And yeah, good times, great memories on that, as everyone else has kind of closed up shop college-wise, and everything else. We'll kind of take a look at the pro players next week as they kind of sort their way out, as their playoffs are going to get started here probably around the same time the Black Bears do, so we can kind of keep up on all that trend for that there. But for now, that's it. That's all. We've done it. Another one in the books. You guys have a great one. Again, if you can get down to the Piney Orchard this weekend, last regular season home weekend for the Black Bears. They take on Rochester Friday night, 7 p.m., Saturday night, 6:30. Full team autograph after both games, and skate with the Black Bears on Saturday night as well. So, enjoy. I'm Scotty Wazz. Take care of yourself, and someone else has been defending the den, part of the Face Off Hockey Show Media Faction and Podcast Monsters. Check us out online at Defending Den MBB and ClutchingCrabHockey.com for all the media availability and road recap reports. There you go. That's alliteration. In any way, stay healthy, stay happy. We will talk to you next time through. Peace.